Hello everyone. This is a couple of boxwoods that we picked up earlier at the Lowe's home improvement store. They were on clearance. They were $6.50 a piece, and I intend to use them for practicing bonsai, which is a new obsession of mine. So let's see how that goes. All right, I picked up these bonsai donors today. They're boxwoods, and I say bonsai donors meaning I'm learning bonsai, complete amateur, and just playing around with seedlings I pulled off my yard, and then these are the first things I've purchased, but they were on clearance, and you can see the roots are coming up out of the soil. These have been potted too long, and I started pulling one out, and I'll just show you here. Took it out of the pot, soaked it in this water. I'm trying to pull some of the dirt out, but I mean there was just very little dirt in there. It's solid roots. So my goal here is I'm going to try to pick these apart carefully, and I want to put these in two separate pots if possible. If they're connected, then they'll go back together, but I'm trying to repot these separately, and I want to try to expose some of these roots. So I've been just getting the dirt, breaking the roots up as much as I could without losing too much. Probably going to do a little more research before I go much further, but just going to keep trying to carefully get those roots apart. So I've been at this for a while. I can break them apart now. All right. Moment of truth. Almost there. And then there were two. Okay, so I got this one wired into the pot with some roots exposed. I'm pretty happy with it. And while I was doing that, my dog grabbed the other one that was sitting there and ate the root ball off of it. So I went ahead and put it into this pot, but we'll see how it goes. It definitely had some chew marks on it, and most of the root ball was gone. So we'll see how this one goes. It may be gone. Hey, you. Did you eat my plant? Did you eat my plant? Do you have anything to say for yourself? These are my seed starting shelves in my garden room. Got a few things coming along. I'm new to this. It's all a learning process. I just set all this up within the last couple of weeks. I'm learning. This is my seed starting planting room. This is the one that got roughed up by the dog, so hopefully that'll be all right. Very happy with this one. And I'm about to try to get this guy out of this pot. This one doesn't look nearly as bad as the other one. There's still some soil here. So, see, it's really much better. Go ahead and let it sit in this bucket for a couple minutes, and then I'll start breaking it apart. Okay, so while I let that one soak for a minute, I'm gonna take these two out here to just call it a propagation station I'm making. My snake. Oh, here comes some geese. I don't know if you can hear them. This was my watermelon and pumpkin patch. I'm prepping for the next, preparing it for the next round of crops for this season. I've been working on this area the last couple of days. Some different mushrooms and moss that I've gathered. See here where I'm putting all these starters. Put some soil in around there. You see I have these buried in, and added some moss, some different things I'm propagating, and bonsai experiments. Some of this stuff will probably die because I did some of it wrong, but I'm learning. So making this a little seeding area. It's a couple of days of work on this, but it's a good start. Some false turkey tail is dying out. Dug up another clump of mushrooms down here. So if you're not familiar with this project, me and my partner Cynthia purchased this property 6 months ago. It was an abandoned dairy farm. It's been sitting for quite a few years. It's in terrible condition. We stayed in the camper and we worked on the house part of this for several months. We had to run all new plumbing, main line all the way from the street to the building. We had to do lots of plumbing. There was no kitchen. We had to completely install the kitchen and clean out and renovate the entire living space, which is pretty close to done. And I'm really happy with it. And now we have time to focus on the big picture, which is the sculpture garden. I've been starting a few things here and there. This will be my farming cowboy, and we're putting flower beds and gardens mixed in with everything. This is now the guest house. There's still a lot of work to be done. We have big plans, and we're just chipping away at it slowly, doing it ourselves, and trying to enjoy every bit of it instead of really being hard on ourselves and pushing too hard. We just want to make the best of it. Focus on the details. Focus on gratitude. Keep our eyes on the big overall picture. And just enjoy the day. Enjoy life. Take advantage of the time we're blessed with.
Hey girls. Hey girls. Hey girls.
Oops, they knocked their feet over. It's all a work in progress. Pretty much all of the exterior walls that are not that beautiful colored tile will be covered in murals. I've been chipping away at it. It's so amazing to have this entire building as a canvas. And back to the garden room. Let's see how this guy's looking. A little softer, I hope. Give it a few more minutes. Get this started at the bottom. Cut that way. I'm gonna turn it, make it cut that way, and I can start working some of this bark and root ball loose.
All right, so I'm gonna dig that with my fingers. I'm gonna put it back in the water for a little bit and let it loosen up. Let some of that bark and dirt fall out. And if I'm doing this all wrong, feel free to comment, because I've watched a few videos, done some reading, but it's a hands-on experience. All right. Let that dissolve a little bit. See, some of them are starting to kind of hang down. Try not to rush this. And I don't really know. I really like this base, but I don't know what's below the surface. So slow and easy, so I don't damage anything that I might want to use. All right. All right, while that sits for a minute, I'll show you. Here's a sculpture in progress. It's gonna be a bird made mostly out of sporting goods with a few other items. All right, oh, I'll show you something else. As far as gardening, I've converted some of my bedroom windows. See the bottom half of these two windows. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to see with reflections, but try this. Yeah, so. It's actually working pretty well for certain plants. We got spinach and kale in here that will go in the ground at some point. My angel, she's pretty much finished. I do stick other things in there every now and then, just kind of fill in some of the gaps, but for the most part, she's done. And this is just some fun stuff. Over here, I'll show you. This is my cow sculpture. So when the cow's done, I'm making a little hill right here. She'll go on top of the hill. And then where that satellite dish is right there, I will put a spotlight that shines down on this hill. All right, so. We'll, So it's a big project. It's coming along a little at a time. Let's go back and mess with this plant. I had to bring a lot of plants inside. This beauty. My lady's had this for a long time. All right, as you can hear, it's time to let the puppy out. All right, let's see how this thing's doing. Ooh, it's gotten heavy, that's for sure. All right, it's coming along. I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing some of this out. Breaking it up some more. All right, so oh, by the way, since we're looking at a root ball and the dog that ate the root ball, I will say she did not eat it. I found it laying out on the other side of the yard. She just chewed it off of the tree and then drug the tree to this side of the yard. The root ball's on this side of the yard. Anyway, so I'm not gonna do much more because I want to put this in a pot and I want to go ahead and start shaping and trimming some of this out, see what kind of roots we have in here on the top, and I want to be able to go ahead and do some pruning and shaping. So I'm not going to take out any more of this. Hopefully this, I mean, that's a lot of roots. I shouldn't have any trouble. In my limited knowledge, I think I'm good to do some pruning and shaping and to dig out some of these roots. So I'm gonna put this thing in a pot and start carving away at this base and see what I have. Okay, so I've been picking at this guy for a while and took it out and sprayed the roots with the hose. As you can see, it's a pretty good start. I don't think I'm going to separate these. They're really, I think the roots are intertwined really nicely, and as it grows, I think I can expose more of that. So I'll put this thing in a pot and probably start doing some shaping. It's a pretty nice root ball that I left, so I think I'm gonna be good to go ahead and trim and shape this. All right, so got this thing in a container. Good start on some exposed roots. There are some things that I like here. I still have to clean that up, do a little work. One thing, I skipped the process of wiring this into the container because, I mean, look, it really held well. So, because I left so many roots, I didn't have to wire this one in. Shouldn't have any issues. And I probably shouldn't keep picking it up by the roots. So I'm gonna do some trimming and wiring and shaping. I think I'm gonna wrap this video up right here. I hope you'll all join me for an update on this little boxwood and the sculpture garden in general. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you've already subscribed. If not, please do. We'll have a lot more art and gardening videos coming up. My guest house camper that was earlier in the video, if you haven't seen that, go back on the channel and find that. I got that pretty much in junkyard trash condition for $400, and It's a great video. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out if it interests you. I need to keep this outside, but I brought it in so I can just stare at it tonight and just really study it. I think I'm actually going to do a sketch of it and try to really have some intent before I start cutting anything on this. I think it has a lot of potential, and I'm a beginner, so I don't want to make any crucial mistakes. So I'm really taking my time. And also, I think bonsai is going to be a lesson in patience for me. Thank you all for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, share, and let me know what you think. Have a great day.